The title of my sermon this morning is Together We Can. And I was looking for another scripture because last time I was here and I shared with you, I used the same scripture. This for what we have and the families that you have here at church, Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. That's what we want to see. Education is a wonderful thing. We have set up our schools for a purpose, and that purpose is to keep our children. Some of the things that I'm going to say today, they have challenged me. Some of the things that I brought up, I heard this, some of this same information I'm sharing with you from Jim Ingersoll. He's the Associate Director for Education for the Southern Union. And the things that he had to share were powerful. I hope I can convey some of the same things. I hope that you are challenged today. And the title of the sermon today is Together We Can. Our young people, our youth, they're going somewhere. Where are they going and why are they going? These are the two questions we have to answer before we can figure out what we have to do about it. Before they reach the age of 20, before the youth, before the children sitting here, before the children at our school reach the age of 20, 51% of them will walk out of the church. These numbers are actually better. The Seventh-day Adventist numbers, 51%, are actually better than some other denominations. So I guess we're doing a good job if 51% are heading out. Were you aware that 51% are leaving the church? Why? Why is the case? Why is this happening? There's one obvious reason. There is a war going on. It's an invisible war, at least the combatants are. But it's obvious if we look at society that there is a war going on. And there's only two sides. There's not three sides, there's not four sides, there's two sides. There's Christ, and then there's the devil. And if you're sitting in the middle, you know whose side you're on. Satan is good at what he does. He has had thousands of years of experience to work on us today. It's been 6,000 years since Adam and Eve bit that fruit. He doesn't come to us as a snake anymore, does he? He's a little more crafty, although it was enough to make Adam and Eve question God. He is good at what he does. When he was in the presence of God, he pulled away a third of the angels. In the presence of God. He is good at what he does. What chance do we have on our own against him? What chance do our youth have against him? In trying to figure out what's going on with our youth, it occurred to me what's taking place. What does this slide say? What does it share with us? Guided by voices. Well, what do we mean, guided by voices? Our kids are bombarded, not daily, not hourly, not by minutes, but by the very seconds that tick by on the clock, by the things of this world. $17,000 hours of television by the time they're 18. That's the average. 3.5 hours a day. I know they're at school for 8 hours a day. I know they get bused for at least a half an hour in the morning and in the afternoon. I've got kids that walk into the school building who look like they haven't slept. I know it's more than 3.5 hours a day for some kids. Am I naive enough to think that our Seventh-day Adventist young people aren't watching 3.5 hours a day of television? When you walk into most homes, there's more than one television. It seems like there's more than one television in the house, like there's a television in every room. When I was at Sears last, they had a LCD television that hooked up to the can opener, or it slips underneath the cabinets in the kitchen. I watch television. When I watch football, there's a commercial for DirecTV. And it's this feature where they get to pause it and they get to watch the program in another room. He's in the restroom in one of them and watching a TV. If it's on the commercial, it's reality somewhere. How many televisions are in the home? 17,000 hours by the time they're 18. Music. Music is a beautiful thing. Sometimes. Music can move the soul. Music can be emotional. When I go out, if I'm taking my son for a walk, if I have to go to the mall for something, what's dangling from their ears? We have a rule at school. I don't want to see MP3 players. I know the bus drive is boring. I don't want to see MP3 players. Why? Why, Mr. Goose? Why can't we wear MP3 players? Music that might be okay for you, some other parents might not want their kid listening to it. Let alone, I don't want to be responsible for something broken, something lost, or heaven forbid somebody's tempted enough to put it in their backpack and walk home with somebody else's equipment. But I don't want an influence of something that is deemed okay in your household for someone else to listen to. What was Satan's job in heaven? He was the leader of the choir. He was the choir director. Tell me he doesn't know a thing or two about music. Hollywood. Hollywood knows how to get to us. There was a conference supervisor from the Southern Union, who was in San Diego at a brain conference. And during breaks, you make small talk with the person next to you. And he's saying, where are you from? What do you do? Turns out this person was in from Hollywood. What are you doing from Hollywood? We need to know more how the brain works. We need to know more about how decisions are made. What's the big number every weekend? Box office earnings. They want to know how to get into your wallet, how to convince you to come see some of the garbage that they put up in the theater. They're at brain conferences trying to figure this out. Hollywood is good at what they do. They want to affect the decisions that we make, the decisions that our youth make. Voices, television, music, movies. I don't know about you, but I have to use the computer for my job. I have reports I have to submit to the conference, reports I have to submit to the state. Email me, don't call me, don't email me. Most homes have a computer. Children will get on that computer. Most homes have a computer. Most children these days